Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. So I get asked a lot about project panning advice, and I see a lot of people asking other people who project pan for advice on what to do, how to get started, how to keep yourself motivated. So I have 15 questions to ask yourself about project panning. There's 5 questions to ask before you start, 5 questions to ask yourself during your project pan, and 5 questions to ask yourself after. So I thought that these questions help me a lot when I'm stuck or when I'm thinking about a project pan. They just kind of trigger things in your mind so you can figure out why you're doing this and what you might need to work on. So before you start with the project pan, the first question you want to ask yourself is, why do you want to do a project pan? It could be for a number of different reasons. It could be because you have so many products and you need to go on a no-buy and you want to really kind of shop your stash, go through your collection more. It could be that you feel like you've neglected products, even if you're not on a no-buy or a low-buy. You just want to start using some of the older things before you start using the new things and kind of cycling through products. The possibilities are endless as to why you are doing a project pan, but I think it's really important to identify that first. The second thing would be, what products are you choosing? This seems kind of obvious, but you really want to look at the products you are putting in your project pan. Unless you're doing something like a project pan roulette, which is really fun, but I would not really recommend that for someone beginning with project panning just because it is so random. When you're first starting with project panning, you really want to be careful with the products you're picking, and you don't want to be too ambitious because you can get discouraged right away. So really look at the products you're choosing and kind of ask yourself again, why are you choosing them? Why do you want to use them? 3 is, what are your rules? This is really important to identify at the very beginning, because if you're doing a low buy or a no buy, you really want to have your rules in place. If you're doing a replacement only, it's really important to know what you want, which kind of goes along with number 4, which is, what are your goals? Really think about, if you're hoping to really downsize your collection, what you want to get out of this. Are you hoping that you're going to get rid of a bunch of sample products or like deluxe size products? Are you hoping that you have too many foundations and you want to get rid of some foundations by doing a project pan? Or do you have too many like eyeshadows and you're working on that? So knowing what your goals is also really important so that you can kind of help yourself stay on track. And then the 5th thing to ask yourself before you start would be, how long do you want to do this for? Some people set really strict guidelines. They go, okay, I'm going to do a project 10 pan and it's going to last for 3 months. Unless finished earlier, obviously. So some people go, well, I'm going to do a project 20 pan till whenever. And some people will do things that fit in with like the seasonal challenges. So this kind of advice would also go along with that. If you know what your time frame is, okay, I'm starting on this time and finishing at this time, because it's really important, if you have those guidelines, to make sure you are starting so you're not already setting yourself up for a bit of disappointment. So during a project pan, there's also some questions you should ask yourself. The first thing would be, are you having fun? Because it shouldn't be work to do a project pan. You should be enjoying yourself. If you're not enjoying yourself, you've really got to think about why. The second thing would then be, do you need a break? Even if you are having fun with the project pan, maybe you need a break from using those products, and that is okay. That also goes along with your rules before you start. Did you want to use the project pan items every single time you put on makeup? Or are you giving yourself a little bit of flexibility? You're giving yourself like a cheat day or a cheat weekend, or whatever your rules happen to be. But do you need a break from project panning altogether? That is okay. You can allow yourself to take a break. Even if you said in your rules and your goal was like, I'm not going to take a break and I'm going to do this for 3 months, and you're like 2 weeks into it and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? This is all you. So if you want to take a break because you just are starting to hate the products you are using, take a break. Dig out some other makeup. Maybe you purchased a new palette or something you want to play around with, but it's just been sitting there because you feel like you have to only use your project pan items. Give yourself a break. Take a day or two. I know for myself personally, there have been times when I'm like, I need to take a break. I'm not using any project pan items. And sometimes the next day I'm right back to a project pan, and sometimes it's a week. And having that time can be really good for you if it's what you need. 3, do you still like this product or these products? This is really important to ask yourself, because if you're really miserable and hating a product, substitute it out, consider it finished. Like, you do not have to finish a product just because you put it in your project pan. If it's really not working for you, if you really hate it and you are just not looking forward to using this product every day, just go. Just get rid of it. It's not worth that kind of a hassle. But I would say, what haven't you thought of? That would be question number 4. So before you just immediately go and toss that product, have you tried using it in another way? So there's a lot of things you can think of first. There's some things that obviously if they do not work for you, or the formula sucks and you've realized that, even if you're shortly into a project pan, it's not worth it. You're just going to frustrate yourself by keeping that product on. But I think it's really worth your time to look at your options first, especially if it's a fairly new product. Now, that being said, if it is a fairly new product, and I don't mean like a well-worn, like you've hit massive pan on something, but if it's something you've maybe used 1 or 2 times and you've realized this isn't going to work for me, maybe think about giving it to a friend or a family member, letting them have fun with it. I've been really fortunate that my sister has given me a lot of makeup stuff that she doesn't like anymore, that was stuff that wasn't working for her for whatever reasons, and a lot of the stuff that she has given me has become some of my favorite stuff to use. And stuff that I would probably purchase for myself once it's done. So think about that. You don't have to finish something. Think about giving it away if it's not really used or really old. But think about if you could use it for yourself, if you want to use it for yourself, and then kind of go back and decide if it's really early into your project pan, you can always substitute a new item in. Say that you're 2 weeks into your project pan and you chose an eyeliner and it sucks, and it's not worth keeping, and you're just going to toss it because it's well worn, if the formula's crap, gone, put in a new one. Now, if you're decided you're going to do a 3-month project pan and you're at the last month and you're finally given up on something, you don't need to substitute something in. But again, that is totally up to you. Set your own rules, but also be free to break them. And the 5th question would be to ask yourself again, why are you doing a project pan? Because believe it or not, the reason can change. It could be that money was an issue before. Say that's why you did a project pan, simply because you didn't have the money to buy new products. So you were putting yourself on a no-buy, it's kind of out of necessity. But then all of a sudden, say you came into a lot of money for, all of a sudden you've got a lot of disposable income. Maybe you want to take a break from project panning now and you want to purchase some new items and play around with them. That is okay. If your rules, if your reasons for doing a project pan change, whether or not that means that you really want to do more project pans and work on it even more, or you want to stop, that is okay. Reevaluate with yourself. And then for after you have finished your project pan. So this could be after you've given up. So this could be after you finished your little deadline, whatever your goals were for the timeline, or maybe you've decided to stop because it wasn't working for you. That is okay. The 5 things you should ask yourself is, did you meet your goal or goals? So if you happen to give up because it wasn't working for you, I hate to say give up because it sounds like you didn't try, but I mean, obviously everyone's doing this is trying. So say it just wasn't working for you. Did you meet any of your goals? Anyway, did you finish any products? Did you get out of it what you needed to get out of it? The second thing is, how did it make you feel? It sounds very like, how did this make you feel? And you should be like lying on a couch and the therapist is, Anyway, but really, how did it make you feel? Were you happy about it? Were you upset? Do you regret panning a product because you really ended up loving it? Or do you regret spending time on a product that you hated? Just really ask yourself, how did it make you feel? The 3rd thing would be, what did you learn? There's so many different things you can learn about yourself from doing a project pan, especially because anyone doing a project pan, I'm gonna say, is a makeup lover. So you might find out that something that you really loved, you now hate, and something you hated, you now love. That has happened to me many, many times. You might have found a new makeup look, you might have found a new way to use a new product, but it's really important to ask yourself, what did you learn? Because even if you think that your project pan was a failure, you might have learned something along the way which will guide you towards whatever you hope to accomplish in the future. The fourth thing would be, what did you like and what did you dislike about doing a project pan? Perhaps you didn't like some of the rules you gave yourself. Perhaps you said you were going to be on a strict no buy and you really didn't like that. So then maybe next time you're like, I can do a low buy and set whatever those goals are. Or maybe you really liked being on a no buy. Maybe that really worked for you and things just happened to work out so much easier. Anyway, that's what you want to ask yourself, is what did you like and what did you dislike about it? And then go from there. So then the last thing you want to ask yourself is, do you want to do this again? Maybe you don't want to do it right now. Maybe you're really excited. Maybe you've seen these other seasonal challenges or like a project pan roulette, and maybe you want to do something like that, or even branching into like a 30-day lipstick challenge or some sort of other project or challenge you could do with your makeup. The possibilities are truly endless. So I hope that this helped you guys a little bit. I know asking myself these questions has been super helpful for doing my project pans and other use it up challenges. I hope that these questions will help you guys as well. If you have any advice for project panning, please share it down below so other people can see the wonderful advice and can learn from it. This is such a wonderful community, and if you are thinking about doing a project pan, I highly recommend that you try it. And I would really recommend sharing your progress in some form or another. So some people might be too shy or unable to put their face out there on YouTube, and totally get that. But there's so many other places that you can share that stuff. If you have a blog, you can post pictures on Instagram, which is so useful. So many people do Instagram project pans and don't do it anywhere else, and it's seriously amazing, and it's so easy to do. There's other communities and stuff as well. I'm part of a sub on Reddit, Makeup Rehab, which there's so many wonderful people who are doing project pans through there as well. You can check in with words, you can check in with pictures, like there's so many different ways to go, but I really recommend that personally to help keep yourself accountable, because you're sharing your progress with other people, and other people are going to be really excited for you and they're going to cheer you on. So if you're not already part of this awesome community in one form or another, I really recommend you join in, because you will have so much fun. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my video today. I really truly appreciate it. If you have any requests for videos you would like to see from me, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!